There is a world unseen, a silent symphony playing within the chambers of your mind, a constant, often unconscious dialogue that shapes the very fabric of your existence. We move through our days believing we are simply reacting to circumstances, to the external world presenting itself to us. But what if I told you that every single one of those circumstances, every person, every event is merely an echo, a reflection, a manifestation of the conversations you are holding within? Not just the words you consciously articulate in your thoughts, but the deeper, more subtle assumptions, the emotional tones, the unwavering beliefs that form the bedrock of your inner state. This is not a fanciful notion, but a profound spiritual truth unveiled by the mystic Neville Goddard. A truth that, once grasped, transforms the mundane into the miraculous and the helpless into the operant power. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a sacred garden. What seeds are you planting with your inner conversations? Are they seeds of doubt, of lack, of fear, of limitation? Or are they seeds of boundless possibility, of fulfilled desires, of unwavering love, of abundant grace? Most of us, unwittingly, cultivate a garden filled with weeds simply because we are unaware of the gardener within. We allow the chatter of the world, the opinions of others, the news cycles of negativity to dictate the terms of our inner dialogue. And then we wonder why our external world reflects this inner chaos. Neville taught that consciousness is the only reality. This isn't just a poetic phrase, it's the fundamental operating principle of the universe. Your consciousness, your I am awareness, is the sole creative force. And the most potent expression of that force, the very engine of creation, lies in your inner conversations. Think of those moments when you are alone, perhaps driving, or lying in bed before sleep. What stories are you telling yourself? Are you rehearsing past failures, reliving moments of regret, anticipating future difficulties? Or are you, consciously or unconsciously, envisioning triumphs, feeling the joy of achievements yet to unfold, experiencing the warmth of connections yet to be made? These inner dialogues are not idle musings, they are blueprints. They are commands being issued to the subconscious mind, which, in its magnificent and obedient capacity, sets about arranging the outer world to match the inner decree. Neville emphasized that an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. This implies a profound responsibility. Every time you engage in an inner conversation, you are making an assumption about yourself, about others, about your life. And whether that assumption is born of conscious desire or unconscious habit, it will inevitably manifest. Consider the pervasive human tendency to engage in inner arguments, to mentally defend ourselves against perceived slights, or to plan out retaliatory speeches. Each time we do this, we are not just wasting mental energy, we are actively attracting more situations that require defense or retaliation. We are calling forth the very conflicts we ostensibly wish to avoid. Conversely, when we inwardly bless others, when we imagine them and their highest good, when we silently congratulate them on their successes, even if the outer world suggests otherwise, we are not only elevating our own state, but we are also influencing the field of consciousness in a way that will inevitably reflect back to us blessings and harmonious interactions. This is the law of assumption in its purest form. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the outer world will conform to that feeling. The challenge, then, is to become exquisitely aware of these inner conversations, to catch ourselves in the act of negativity, of limitation, of fear, and to consciously pivot. This isn't about suppression, it's about transformation. It's about recognizing the incredible power residing within you, the power to choose your inner narrative. Neville urged us to live from the end. This means when you desire something, don't just wish for it, feel as if you already have it. Don't just hope for it, assume its reality now. And how do you do this most effectively? Through your inner conversations. Instead of talking about your desire or to your desire, engage in an inner conversation from the state of having your desire fulfilled. Speak as if it is already done. Thank the universe or your higher self for its manifestation. Feel the relief, the joy, the peace that comes with the accomplishment. This inner sensory experience is the catalyst. Imagine you desire a deeper, more loving relationship. Instead of inwardly complaining about the current state of your connections or mentally rehearsing what you would say to someone to get them to change, begin to engage in inner conversations with your ideal partner or with friends and family from the perspective that you are already experiencing that profound love and connection. Hear their voices, feel their presence, participate in joyful interactions. This isn't make-believe in a childish sense. It is the conscious direction of your imaginative power, the very force that is constantly creating your reality. If your current reality is merely a reflection of past inner conversations, then by consciously directing your current inner conversations, you are actively shaping your future reality. You are becoming the operant power, the conscious creator of your life. Neville's teachings aren't about mere positive thinking, which can often be a superficial attempt to paper over deeper doubts. It's about a radical shift in consciousness, a deep understanding that the world is within you, not outside of you. Man's consciousness is all that he is and all that he has, he stated. Therefore, to change your world, you must change your consciousness. And the most direct, potent pathway to altering your consciousness is through the meticulous management of your inner conversations. It's about moving from being a passive recipient of life to an active participant in its creation. It's about realizing that every single thought you entertain, every feeling you allow to linger, every assumption you hold is a creative act. Consider the common human experience of inner worry. We worry about finances, about health, about the well-being of loved ones, about the future. Each worry is an inner conversation, a mental rehearsal of an undesirable outcome. And by rehearsing it, by giving it our emotional energy and attention, we are, in essence, inviting it into our experience. What if, instead of worrying, we consciously shifted our inner dialogue to one of assurance, of well-being, of abundance? What if we spoke to ourselves and about our circumstances as if everything was already perfectly aligned? This requires discipline, yes, but it is the discipline of a master artist, painting their masterpiece from the inside out. The concept of revision is one of Neville's most liberating teachings, directly related to the power of inner conversations. If our outer world is a reflection of our inner state, and if an undesirable event has occurred, it means we must have, at some point, held an inner conversation or assumption that led to it. Revision is the practice of re-entering that past event in your imagination and re-scripting it. In your mind's eye, you go back to the moment it happened, or even before it, and you mentally rewrite the scene, engaging in new, more desirable inner conversations within that revised scenario. You imagine a different outcome. You hear different words. You feel different emotions. You literally change the past, not in the physical world, but in the realm of consciousness, thereby neutralizing its negative influence on your present and future. Do not waste one moment in regret, Neville taught, for to think of the past in terms of regret is to bring it again into the present. Revision is the antidote to regret. It is the ultimate act of self-forgiveness and self-empowerment. It understands that no event is fixed, no past is immutable in the face of conscious imaginative power. Your inner conversations about a past event can either perpetuate its painful memory and its repercussions, or they can entirely transmute it. Imagine the freedom that comes from knowing you are not bound by your past, but rather you possess the power to resculpt its meaning and impact through the focused intention of your inner world. This is not to say that undesirable events won't occur in the outer world. Life, in its vastness, presents all manner of experiences. But how you respond to those events, how you interpret them, how you converse about them within yourself, that is where your true power lies. An event happens, and the natural tendency might be to immediately react with fear, anger, or disappointment. But if you can pause, if you can observe that initial reaction and then consciously choose a different inner conversation, one of peace, of understanding, of ultimate good, you are altering the trajectory of that experience. You are choosing to see beyond the immediate appearance and to align with a higher truth, a greater good that is always seeking to express itself through you. The practice of living from the end and managing your inner conversations also requires a deep sense of faith and persistence. Faith, not in some external deity, but faith in your own magnificent imagination. Faith in the power of your own consciousness. Neville defined faith not as a blind belief, but as the subjective appropriation of the objective hope. It is the subjective feeling, the inner conversation, that confirms the reality of your desire, even when the outer senses contradict it. And persistence is the unwavering commitment to maintain that inner conversation, to hold to that feeling of the wish fulfilled, no matter how long it takes for the outer world to catch up. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the old limiting inner conversations try to reassert themselves. This is natural. The mind, being a creature of habit, will often revert to its well-worn grooves. But this is precisely where your conscious will comes into play. This is where you gently but firmly redirect your attention. This is where you remember that you are the operant power, the director of your inner stage. You are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the one who chooses which thoughts to entertain and which inner conversations to engage in. And with each conscious redirection, with each moment you choose an empowering inner dialogue over a limiting one, you are strengthening your creative muscle, you are deepening your faith, and you are accelerating the manifestation of your desires. Consider the immense influence of our identity, the fundamental I am statements we hold about ourselves. If your inner conversations constantly affirm a limited identity, I am not good enough, I am unlucky, I am always struggling, then your outer world will diligently reflect these affirmations. But if you consciously choose to affirm a new identity through your inner conversations, I am worthy, I am blessed, I am successful, then the universe, which is merely a mirror of your consciousness, must, by its very nature, present you with experiences that align with these new affirmations. This is the profound truth of I am. Your I am is not merely a declaration, it is a creative command. Whatever you attach to I am becomes your reality. Neville beautifully illustrates this with biblical parables, not as historical events, but as psychological dramas unfolding within the individual consciousness. When Jesus says, "Before Abraham, I am," he is not claiming to be an old man. He is declaring the eternal, ever-present, creative power of consciousness. Before any condition, any circumstance, any identity was, the I am existed and continues to exist as the source and creator of all. Your inner conversations are the continuous expression of this I am power. Are you using your I am to affirm lack or to affirm abundance, to affirm illness or to affirm perfect health? The choice is always yours, and it is made most potently in the silent, often unnoticed dialogues within your own mind. The journey of mastering your inner conversations is a journey of self-discovery, of awakening to your true divine nature. It's a process of becoming aware of the subconscious scripts that have been running your life, and then, with conscious intent, rewriting them. It's about cultivating an inner environment that mirrors the beauty, the abundance, and the love you wish to experience in the outer world. It's about recognizing that every interaction you have, every emotion you feel, every circumstance you encounter is a direct feedback loop from your own consciousness. And the most powerful lever you have to change that feedback loop is the quiet, persistent, and intentional management of your inner conversations. This practice leads to a state of profound surrender. Not a surrender of power, but a surrender of the ego's need to control the how. Once you have planted the seed with your inner conversation, once you have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you then surrender the details of its manifestation to the infinite wisdom of your subconscious mind. You trust that the invisible forces are at work, arranging circumstances, inspiring actions, and opening pathways that will inevitably lead to the physical realization of your inner state. Your only job is to maintain the inner conversation, to persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to know with unwavering certainty that it is done. The embodiment of this teaching comes when there is no longer a gap between your inner conversations and your outer experience. When your inner world is so consistently aligned with your desires that the outer world effortlessly mirrors it. When your I am declarations are so deeply felt and believed that they become your undeniable reality. This is not a destination to be reached one day in the distant future. It is a present state of being that you cultivate moment by moment through the conscious direction of your magnificent imagination and the careful stewardship of your inner conversations. You are the operant power. You are the creator, and your inner conversations are the sacred language of your creation.